Right, a very warm welcome if you've just joined us. We're in Klerksdorp today in Bokone Bupurima, otherwise known as the Northwest, and we're busy chatting about a number of issues, agriculture, and we're talking about culture and arts, traditional affairs, and also tourism. But we've also got the rest of the MECs here as well, so if there's anything else that you'd like to chat about, please use this opportunity at Morning Live SABC. And we've spoken to our MECs just before the break, and they gave us their first thoughts. And we're going to start unpacking some of those issues now. And I'm going to turn my attention to the MEC for Rural Environment and Agriculture. MEC, just before the break, we spoke a little bit about your hopes for your department to help grow the economy. And I know that agriculture is very important, and we rely a lot on the rain. There's been an awful drought in this part of the world for quite some time now, and I'm just wondering how that has affected the sector and what kind of support you've been able to give, particularly the smaller farmers that are most affected when the weather doesn't play ball.
Yes, Peter, we must acknowledge that drought is a major issue currently in the province. Hence, we initiated a dialogue with our farmers and all stakeholders in the organized agriculture. One of the issues that we are agreeing with the farmers is that drought or no drought, agriculture has to continue. People must continue to eat. Jobs must continue to be created. Our target currently is the next planting season. We have done what we're supposed to do. Forms has been filled requesting relief here and there. The Premier has declared the province a disaster in terms of drought, and we have submitted this to our national departments. You will remember that this is what we explained even during our Farmers Roadshow, that as a province, we no longer have contingency fund because that contributed to under-expenditure if there's no disaster. But in the same vein, we are having programs that seeks to mitigate the very same circumstances we found ourselves in. For an example, within the department, we're having programs where we give mechanization to our farmers, the inputs, our programs. And I'm very happy that the president came with the notion of agri-packs, which is a tailor-made program, distinct, that seeks to enhance food security. We're using it also together with our provincial agricultural plan to lobby for public-private partnerships. In fact, within the agri-packs, there's issues of production, processing, and also markets, because in the main, the issue has been markets. Now, within the province, coming back to the issue of drought, we have said to our farmers, we must treat also our agriculture like business. We must not only wait for government for handouts. What we have done, we have cleaned some deals with private partners. Omnia has come to the party, Ballowelt has come to the party, Okwane Capital has come to the party, where we came together and said, these are the plans that we have as a province, where do you fit in? And I'm happy that now recently, where Minister Zokwana was here, Minister Nkwinti was here, we are able to demonstrate that, issued machinery to the tune of 43 million. We have just had a meeting yesterday with a land bank that is also having programs or facilities that will assist your emerging farmers. Within the department, we have set aside 120 million that we're saying we are targeting unproduced land or bringing unproductive land back to production. 20,000 hectares has been earmarked. We have surveyed, we have done everything that we have done. From the 17th of this month, we put in line in that, which means this is in addition to what we have been doing. This falls under our program of crop massification, because you will understand that recently we have staged your Maize Triangle Challenge Cup as the Northwest through the RRR, your rebranding, reposition and renewal. We want to seek to go back to our status as a maize producing province. Currently, we are number 2 after your Free State. Mpumalanga comes the 3rd. Now, all these programs that we are having, our main target is your emerging farmers, is your youth. That is why even last year, we resuscitated our Youth in Agriculture and Rural Development structures, that is YAT. We have just launched during the beginning of this month our Youth Awards that we seek to recognize and encourage our young people, their participation in the sector. We are busy currently with the launch of what we will be launching soon, Women in Agriculture and Rural Development. And all these programs talks to your emerging small-scale producers that we want to say to them, we are here as government, we can do up to here. But most importantly, our agricultural plan in the Northwest, the 15 billion plan that is costed, we have been able to say to the private sector, this is our plan, this is where we want to go. Come to the party and work together with government.
How do we measure progress? And what, because what I want to do is to be able to come back to you this time next year and say, this is what you said you would do, this is what you've been able to do. For you to have had a successful year, what will we be able to see? What can people look to and say, this department has delivered? By this time next year, what will have happened?
Next year, this time, we should have laid the foundation because our main aim is on building the infrastructure that will talk to our vision. We have just unveiled or turned a laboratory, soil testing and water testing laboratory in Taung within the agricultural development. This year, we'll be hosting a ceremony for the first time in Taung Agricultural College of diplomas NQ level 6 because Taung, we are positioning it to be as a center of excellence in irrigation through the sponsorship from Topsy in your Danish country. We are also working together with our college in Potchefstroom to make sure that the skills relevant to our sector. Hence, we have also where we have trained 300 farmers last year, giving them skills, because there's no point pushing farmers into farming while they don't have the relevant skills. For this financial year, we have set aside 10 million, and we are targeting 400. So we also have in storage facilities. The silos in the province 3, we have refurbished, completed Springbok Pan. For this financial year, we are targeting your Vryhof next year will be in Kraipan. Because as and when they produce, they also need to have storage to say whatever they are producing, they should not be forced by markets to sell. So that will also talk to your food security. So the main aim also with the agri-parks, your Springbok Pan will be looking at grain. In Vryburg, the Dr. Ruth Sekgomotsi Mompati, it's livestock. Hence, we are having livestock improvement plan that we'll talk to, that your bull subsidy, your Nguni cows, we're doing the same in Moretele Agri-Park. Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, we are focusing on pork and poultry. Now, all this infrastructure within the following year, it should be running. And as and when we say to our farmers, giving them mechanization, giving them inputs produce, they have markets, they have storage. Like I said, the agri-park knowledge will be able to encompass production, processing, and markets at a go. It's a one-stop shop.
Okay, all right. So let me turn to you, MEC Nelson. I'm just wondering, we're in the middle of Women's Month now. We've just started. And traditional affairs is one of the hats that you're wearing today. And I'm just wondering, during a month like this, how do we reconcile some of the traditional views that perhaps have been challenging women in the past as we get into this new era? Because we have to use everybody, and women have to get a fair shake. How are the traditional leaders helping you with that initiative?
Well, Peter, I must say that this fifth administration has really gone to all efforts to ensure that we have a very good relationship with our traditional leadership in our province. Firstly, we have acknowledged that the traditional leadership is important to us and that we cannot do things on our own. We consult and we pride ourselves in the fact that we have taken the traditional leadership on board, we have embraced one another, and whatever we do in conjunction with our traditional leadership. I thought I need to say that firstly. Very importantly, yes, we must work with our traditional leadership. And I think it's important to say that we need to go into dialogue. The dialogue needs to be there continuously, So, although this is Women's Month, we shouldn't only be looking at it during Women's Month. It should be a continuous and an ongoing process where we go into dialogue, we look at the rights of women and the equal partnership of women in all issues. As I say, we've got a very good relationship with the traditional leadership. We have made sure that those were one of the first things that we did when we came in as a fifth administration. And so I don't see it, even though this is Women's Month, I don't see it as any different because it's something that is continuous to ensure that the dialogue is there. We take traditional leadership on board in everything that we do. I think with every project, every you know about Setsokotsane.
Yeah.
So we move in. We're no longer sitting in offices. We're moving around the province. And I must say that before we move into any community, our first stop is the traditional leadership within that community. And in many instances, we work and we have discussions with the leadership who are women in the traditional setup, yes.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then after that, we'll start getting through some of the questions that we've got from our audience here. And also, you at home, at Morning Live SABC, would like to hear what your thoughts are. Perhaps you're a woman in the province, across the continent, and there are issues that you'd like to raise, particularly at this time. Now's your opportunity. So stay with us, and we look forward to your questions.